Hey everyone and welcome, it's Jackie G, and today's video I wanted to talk about communication. What we've been doing in order to get our daughter Alexandria, who is special needs, she's 3 now, we've been teaching her how to talk, how to communicate. I really wanted to share this with you guys because I know a lot of parents share with me their strategies, and I don't think it hurts to try. Sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on how your child learns. Also, this is a follow-up to my last video where I mentioned that Alexandria had club feet surgery. PT was really hard for us to do, but what we focused on was communication, and it has been paying off. So I wanted to kind of talk about that and basically just share with you what I mean by that. I do a lot of videos here on our lifestyle, our special needs life, our medically complex life, faith-based encouragement and motivation. If you guys are interested in joining Familia, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell to let you know when I put out a new video, and yeah, let's just jump right in. So I wanted to start off from where this journey began. When Alexandria was born, she was in the NICU for 8 months straight, and really that's where it all started. The doctors were saying that they only give her from 20 days to a year to live. And so to be real honest with you, it hurts to say, but I read to her only to make the memories, for that bonding aspect, not so much for that I saw a future for her education. Thank God, through His grace, I was able to break free from that limiting belief and really start to have more faith in Him, realizing that doctors, they may say one thing, but God may have different plans. And so when I started to believe that, I started to read to her, yes, for the bonding aspect, yes, for creating those memories, but also because I saw a future education for my daughter.
Down, 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 plop. The baby bird could not fly, but he could walk. Now I will go and find my mother, he said. He's gonna go find his mother. He's gonna go find his mother.
I just wanted to mention that just because I know a lot of us parents, like myself, get stuck in what the doctors are saying or what therapists are saying or what teachers are saying about our children. But it is really important for us to take initiative in their education as their parents and as their advocates in order to see some type of progression. You know, my daughter, she may not be at the same place that other kids are at, but she learns at her pace and she does things with her conditions, with the things that she is able to do. So that's why I wanted to mention this. The focus has to be on their abilities rather than their disabilities. Despite her disabilities, despite what she was never supposed to do, she is where she is now because we work really hard. That's because we believe in her. We truly believe in her, and we truly believe in what God can do. And so I wanted to mention that just because had I been stuck with what the doctors were saying, she wouldn't have been able to say the words that she says now. She wouldn't have been able to communicate anything to me, and she does. I just wanted to mention this first just because it does take a mindset shift in order to see some type of transformation, in order to see some type of progression. It does take a mindset shift, and us starting to believe not only in them but also in ourselves, that we are capable of teaching them, that we are capable of advocating for them, that we are capable of pushing them to their full potential. So hopefully that makes sense. I really did want to start with this because, like I said, it does start with the mindset shift. Let's get into the strategy. So we're in Alexandria's room because girlfriend needs me. Girlfriend needs her mama. Anyway, you okay? You showing them your books? Girl, I do your hair. I don't even know why I do your hair. I like braided it and everything, and now it's a mess. I don't know. I always think like, oh, this time it'll last, but no. So I'm sorry that her hair is a mess, but she did it to herself. Okay, anyway, guys, so let's talk about books since we've been talking about books. In a NICU, I first started out just reading any kind of book. Well, in her age range, I started to read any type of book to her, and I read basically all day because there was really nothing to do there. So I just read day and night throughout the day. I just read and read whenever I had a chance, just read to her. I mean, it was good that I read to her, but once I learned about her CVI, her cortical vision impairment situation, I realized that I really had to find books that were even more simpler or even simplify the language. So, for example, I really like the the Laura Patricelli books because there's really not much going on each page. It is pretty friendly for CVI related issues because the pictures are really simplified. So I definitely look for books that don't have much going on, and also the language is pretty simple. I have a lot of books because there were hand-me-downs from Alexandria's cousins, so I'm not gonna throw them away. Some of them I will probably give away, but a lot of them I will keep. And so like this I Love You Through and Through book, sometimes I read it to her and sometimes I just simplify the language. For example, for this page, I would talk about the baby and how he's sitting, how he has cute little feet and little toes. I just describe what's happening on the page rather than actually read the story. It's more fun for her that way rather than reading something that she doesn't understand yet. And for that matter, I feel like she really loves this book. Like we talk about the hands, and like I have her touch his hands or put her hands here. I have her do things that the baby is doing, and I just think that it's more fun that way for her. Also, her favorite book right now is Brown Bear, Brown Bear. This book has everything really. It's one animal and repetitive language. Like repetitive language has been so helpful for Alexandria and the way she learns, not just in books but throughout our days and throughout our routines. I use a lot of repetitive language. Yeah. ¿Qué pasó, mi amor? You're gonna talk about your book? You're gonna talk about your book? Look, this is your favorite one. Brown bear, brown bear. My other intention with books, with her books, is to make these backgrounds black so that whatever object or character is there stands out more. Yeah, and that is what's recommended for kids with CVI. So yeah, that was my intention, but that hasn't happened yet. So I pray one day it will happen. Last thing that I wanted to mention, I do read faith-based related books. I have this My Goodnight Bible. I have other ones too, but right now we're into this one because I think it's important for us, if you believe in God and Jesus, I think it's important for us to read scripture to our children. Try to read it every day. I actually read this to her right before nap time, or more so right before nap time. I choose to read this to her then so that I can actually read the whole story to her. And sometimes I do talk about what's going on in the page, like the animals and things like that. So yeah, I think it's important. Alexandra, are you okay? Véngase, mi amor. Vente, mi amor. So one thing I recommend is just to constantly talk to your child. Constantly describe everything to them. Once we came out of the hospital, our first nurse, thank God for her, because she was also a parent of a medically complex child. She showed me so much about what it takes to care for a special needs child. She helped me so much about organizing things and what should I be doing. That's where I first got the idea of just talking to my child. She would talk to her non-stop all day. She would describe everything. She would just talk about like things that happened to her in her childhood. She would just tell her stories, sing to her, like all day. And I was just like, wow, you know. And she would tell me like this is gonna be helpful for her. And then when she left, I was just like, oh my gosh, now I have to talk to my daughter. And if you know me personally, like I'm not a big talker, but I do videos. Yeah. Anyway, I had to just really learn how to talk to Alexandria. And it was awkward at first, but I feel like it really has been helpful for me to just talk about anything, talk about what's going on in the room. And really that's what I do. I describe everything when we're doing something with her. Like when I'm giving her a bath, I'm talking to her, I'm telling her like I'm scrubbing your arms, I'm washing your hair, scrub, scrub, scrub. I use a lot of repetitive language. Ready? When we go on walks, I describe the sky. I describe what we're looking at. Oh, look at the sky, look at the clouds, look at the big trees. The trees are green. I just talk about everything. I try to describe everything.
Big tree.
They're so
It's a
big,
big tree over there.
right? And so green.
Yeah. Clap, clap.
I highly, highly recommend start just talking to your child about the things that you are doing, the things that you do in your routine. Use that repetitive language. You know, once you use that, once you continue to do that on a daily basis, exposing them to the language, repeating constantly, describing things, it'll just become natural, and which is what happened with me. It just became natural, and now I just talk to her all the time. I'm talking to her. I just feel like it's been really beneficial for her. I do a lot of singing to Alexandria because she really likes music, and so what I've been doing forever now is just creating my own songs, like when we're outside.
Sitting outside with my mama, I feel alright. Outside, outside, looking at the sky, it's up so high. Outside, outside, the sky is blue, the grass is green. I kind of ran out of words.
I just gotta do what I gotta do for Alexandria's sake. And the same thing goes with using signs. The signs that we have been using, Alexandria does sleep. Alexandria, what else do you do? What else do you do? You do all done. Sometimes she tells me she wants music. This is dance for her. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to actually be the actual signs that are in the, whatever you call it, the sign language system. It just has to mean something for them, I think, at first. She does this when she's cold or she wants us to hold her. Yes, you swing, swing, swing. She just has her own little signs that she does, and I understand what she's trying to tell me. So yeah, I feel like as long as it means something for them, use it. Use it to communicate. And she's been able to do this because, again, we've been using them throughout our routines. So, again, I encourage you to keep repeating that language and signs whenever you can. Videos with Alexandria are so hard. All right, I gotta move somewhere else because girlfriend is just not having it right there. So we're outside now. I gotta keep it moving with this little one. Anyway, let's talk about the exaggerating voice, the cartoon-like voice, the high-pitched voice. Yeah, let's talk about all of that. I just know that there's a lot of people and studies out there that say that you shouldn't use this type of voice, but then there are other studies and other people that say that it doesn't hurt. I am gonna go with it doesn't hurt. I'm sure some of you have heard Freddie, my husband, use this type of voice. I feel like he's always using this voice, and we joke around. We say like he's just gonna stay talking with that voice. First, I was like not about it. I was just like, I don't want to use that. You gotta stop. But of course he didn't listen to me. But what I've noticed is that Alexandria really gravitates towards that type of voice. Even when people aren't even trying, they just have that voice. She's had some therapists, or she has therapists now, that have that voice. I noticed that she listens to them more than other therapists. She just smiles at them more. And even with Freddie, she just listens to him. I started to not necessarily use that baby voice when I'm teaching her, but more of a softer voice. Sometimes it's more like this. There's a lot of studies out there, there's a lot of people out there that just say like, you know, you shouldn't teach your child this way, or you should do this with your child. Like, people are just gonna say different things, gonna offer different methods. But I think that if you see that something is working for your child, then I would say continue to do that, because if there's progression, then obviously they're benefiting from that. For example, I've talked about this in the past, but I really love the Montessori method. I use that as the basis of how I educate Alexandria, but there's a lot of things in the Montessori method that doesn't work with Alexandria. Like, they use a lot of open-ended toys. For Alexandria, it's just a piece of wood. Like, it doesn't attract her whatsoever, so I use regular toys that have a lot of lights in it. I know that you're not supposed to praise your child so much, but for Alexandria, she gets motivated by that praise. She does even better in the next round. What we're asking her to do, she just does even better. I definitely just now start to do what works for her. I don't necessarily go off of, like, I'll try different methods, and if something is working for her, I'll continue that, even if there's like something that says, oh, you're not supposed to do this with a child. First, I found myself really confused about that, like, oh, the Montessori method says not to praise her, but then I was just like, but this is helping her, so why wouldn't I continue using that? So like I said, there's going to be a lot of methods out there, thrown out there. You can try them out. It doesn't hurt to try them out, but at the same time, look for what works for your child. And not everything will, but some things will. Like the exaggerating voice, it may be annoying to some people, but honestly, for Alexandria, it works for her. And so we're gonna continue. I recently found this one channel called Song for Littles, and the lady there, I think she's a speech therapist, because the way she teaches, I could just tell she's a speech therapist. But her voice is a really high-pitched voice, and Alexandria loves her. I'll link her down below, but Alexandria loves her. She loves her videos, and so I play for her every single day. And just the way she teaches, I can see how she knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. So siéntate. Yeah. So yeah. But if you guys have a chance, check her out. She's really good. I'm not so much about the exaggerating voice, but I am more about exaggerating the sound, like, or pronunciating a word. For example, I'll go up, down. I'll use movement, exaggerating movement. That's the way I use exaggeration, which I also think is beneficial for Alexandria. She likes when I do that. Recently, the therapist has been providing these CVI friendly pictures of animals, colors, book for her songs, for her routines, like what we're doing, like brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, glasses, and things like that. We have all of these cards that are outlined and they have a red border. Background is yellow, and I've been implementing a lot of them throughout our routines. And Alexandria really, I see her focusing. We use them in different ways. Sometimes we use them in a range of 2, and we'll ask her to pick one thing, and we'll see if she can identify. It's been really good, and I feel like this is going to help us. A lot of what I struggled with was her actually just getting to look at something. Once we knew that she had CVI, we were able to adapt some of her things so that she can focus and she can understand what's going on in these pictures. Another thing that has been helpful are CVI friendly songs and books found on YouTube. They're free. If you don't know about them, I would highly recommend. I will try to link them down below, but definitely just do a YouTube search, CVI friendly books or songs, and there's a lot out there. And I'm really happy that people took the time to do this because Alexandria really focuses on them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
You love it? Oh, okay. You like that, right? Papi like it too. Papi like to go out with you.
After her surgery, we also really focus on working on sound imitation. Whenever I see an opportunity to use a certain sound, like for example, we are doing the sound, so I use that when we're changing her diaper. I'll say the diaper. And the amazing thing is now I know when she has a diaper because she'll start to do I mean, baby steps, but it starts off somewhere, right? So again, I use that whenever I see the opportunity. I use sound production or sound imitation. Whenever I hear her doing a sound, I will imitate it back. She'll think it's a game. Alexandria likes to touch and feel the sounds. So we'll ask her to look at our mouth movement, but we'll also ask her to touch and feel the sound of my voice. Something that has been working for Alexandria is also doing hand gestures. We'll use hand gestures. She'll look at my mouth, the way my tongue moves. All of that has been really helping. She has been babbling a lot more different sounds. The newer ones are the L sounds, so go la la la, which is so cute. It's coming from her. And the g g g sound, which she did earlier. G g g g. G g g g. Again, when I see the opportunity to use sounds, like she likes this up and down game. Up, up, ready? Up, up, good job. Up. Ready? I only heard her say this once, but she told me she was in her chair and she told me to get her up. Wow, it was so mind-blowing. I'm telling you guys, when somebody tells you that your child's not going to be able to do it and then they do it, that is just the most rewarding, most mind-blowing thing. Like, yes. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is bilingual. And some people may say it's not a good idea for your child to learn 2 languages at once. For me, I think it's a good thing. I was actually raised in a bilingual household, and I think it benefited me more than it confused me, which is what people say, like why you shouldn't do that, because it confuses kids. So for Alexandria, most of the time I'm the one who speaks English. Freddie, I asked him to speak Spanish, but he doesn't listen to me. He does both. He never listens to me. My parents are the ones who only speak Spanish to her. Okay, I have to finish this video out on my phone because my battery just ran out. I'm still here with Alexandria, but I'm about to be done. What was I saying? Oh, so I feel like for Alexandria, I feel like she understands. I feel like she understands my parents when they're talking to her. I feel like she understands me when I'm talking to her in English. And so Honestly, I feel like she understands both Spanish and English, so we're gonna continue with that. Again, it's whatever you think is best for your child. You know your child the best. Whatever you think works for your child, do it. Alexandria is over it. Beba, we're just helping people out. I think that's gonna be it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. I'm going to be linking a lot of information in the description box. Anything that I feel it would be a good resource for you guys that will help you guys out, including those CVI related videos, I will put in the description box so that it will help you guys out. Right, Ale? Yeah, because we gotta share the knowledge, share the goodness. Like I said, all of this has been helping us, but something that might be helping us may not work for you, but it doesn't hurt to try, right? With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching, right, Alexandria? Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye, guys.